we'll do the explanation here, unless you guys want to shape to the trees. What do you prefer? This is okay? Excellent. So we'll give the background here, and then we'll go and see the different sites of Nitsana all in one go. We were in Be'elotai. We were talking about the fact that the ancient settlement of this region, the early Bronze period, Middle Bronze period, Iron Age, all of that is in Be'elotai. But for some reason that we're not really sure why, during the Nabatean period, the center of this valley, or the central point of this valley, moves to here. On top of this hill, the Nabateans established a small fort controlling the road. That road that we kept talking about earlier today, the road that goes into Sinai. And why do they choose this spot? Obviously, there's a strategically controlling hill, but also two wadis meet in this spot. Nachal Nitsana and Nachal Izuz meet right here. And in a place where two wadis meet, what do you get? Water. You get the groundwater in a higher level, so it's easier to dig down and get it. And because of that, it was easy for the Nabateans to dig wells in this spot. And we're standing right above a well that has been renovated and used by many other people throughout history. But this well and many others, altogether 6 wells around us here, were dug at different times to reach that water. So the first settlement that we know of here, on top of the hill, a small Nabatean fortress. And just like a lot of other Nabatean spots like that, over time, what started as just a fortress grows and grows and grows, and eventually, during the Roman and mostly the Byzantine period, what do we have here? A city. A city. Same story as in Ovdatin and Mumshit and in Shivta happens here. Nitsana is unusual in the sense that it has a natural source of water right here. So that's the name of the city, and we know about it thanks to one thing, and we'll talk about how we found the name. That was the city of Nitsana. After the Muslim conquest, alongside Shivta and the other cities in the region, the settlement of this region declines, and this city, like the others, becomes abandoned. People leave it, and they don't resettle the area. Who lives in this region after the residents of the city leave? Different types of nomads live in this area. And this is true throughout the centuries until the Turks decide to build, in 1906, they decide to build a border town. There was never a border here, but what happens in 1906?
1906, the Turkish Ottoman 19. أيوة رشدي.
So we're throwing different names that refer to the story. But the British Empire that has interests in Egypt and mostly the Suez Canal essentially twists the arm of the Turks and forces them to draw an internal line. This isn't a border between two different nations. This is a line within officially it's within the Turkish Empire, forcing the Turks to withdraw their military forces behind a line that's within their empire. Egypt, at least officially, is still a Turkish territory back in 1906. Now, eventually the British influence in Egypt will drive the Turks out of there. But in 1906, at least on paper, this is just a line, this is an administrative line within the Turkish Empire. And Bremling is the British officer alongside his Turkish counterparts that marks this line all the way from Rafiach to what was supposed to be Taba, and eventually, because of Ujdi Pecha, is in Aqaba. Okay? Sorry, was supposed to be Aqaba and eventually in Taba. Sorry, confused them.
We are thankful. We are thankful for him.
Yes, we are. We definitely are. 1906. But once that line is marked, the Turks understand that this is administrative or border or whatever. This is a line that we need to manage. And at the place where this new administrative border and the road to Sinai meet, the Turks decide to build an administrative town. And this is where we are here. There happens to be a lot of building material from the old Byzantine city. And the Turks establish a small town in the middle of nowhere on the road into Sinai on the newly established border. And they name it the name that the Bedouins gave this whole area. The Bedouins called it Ouja el Khafir. What does that mean?
Ouja?
Ouja el Khafir.
Ouja, it's a corner.
It's a windy
corner.
It's a bend or one. It's the bend of the wells or of the cisterns or of the digging.
Gafir?
And Khafir.
Gafer.
الحفير حفير.
We already talked about my pronunciation in Arabic. That was discussed heavily, repeatedly.
Speak better than the Bedouins. Don't worry.
We have a long road controlled by Bedouins to get home. I might call a few of my friends.
Don't worry, I have more connection than you.
He always does.
Believe me.
So they know this area, they know this place by the name of Ouja el Khafir. Ouja el Khafir is a backwater, nothing of a town. Its entire job is to be a police station on this administrative line on the road. When does it suddenly become an important base? We talked about this, Turks and Germans.
Yeah, when they wanted to go to shock
World
the
War One, when
Red
the Turks
Sea.
and the Germans are trying to invade Sinai and go all the way to the Suez Canal, they have to use this area, this road, and suddenly this place that has water and is already an established town becomes an ideal logistics base for this advancing army. And the berm behind you guys is the train track. And here, because of the abundance of water, the German engineers and the Turkish army established a logistics base with warehouses and a train station and the water tower over there for the train and a hospital on the hill.